Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and we're going to be talking about 7 ways that you can be successful and free to play in this game. And if you're wondering why I am wearing a purple unicorn ring that is in the shape of a star, it is because my 3-year-old daughter gave it to me and said that we are best friends and that she has a bracelet and we clink these together. Yes, it's super cute, I know, and she's the reason that you guys should like and subscribe, comment down below. We're trying to get this channel to 5,000 subscribers. When we hit 5,000 subscribers, you guys will get to see Wampa hit Relic 8 on a special live stream. So make sure, guys, like and subscribe, not just for Wampa, but so that I can tell my daughter that I hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Anyway, let's get into our video. Alright, so the first key that you're going to need to understand is you have to accept, right? Acceptance. You're going to have to accept that you're not going to grow as quickly as some players. But it doesn't mean you can't be successful. There's just some acceptance that has to come in here that you might not be able to chase the newest thing right away. So by accepting that, maybe you say, you know what, I can't go and worry about Cal Kestis and the Journey Guide, but I can go get Dr. Aphra. Or I can't worry about Dr. Aphra right now, maybe I'm going to get Grand Inquisitor. That you've got to understand where your account is and what you can realistically do, right? And just accept it, that if you're not going to spend money on this game, there are certain things that you're not going to be able to do right away. And so acceptance is the most important thing, because if you don't accept that and you try to keep up with the meta, you're just going to burn yourself out, you're going to waste resources, and then you're not going to have as much fun. Alright, the next part is patience. And this comes in so many different forms. You know, I'm using characters that, hopefully kind of tie in with Star Wars and some of the things that they've said, right? Like, you've got to be patient as a free-to-play, because things aren't going to come as quickly, right? You're constantly building towards something. And a lot of times what I've found with my own roster is that I kind of go in these spurts where I will do a bunch of upgrades all at once, and then I won't upgrade something for a little bit, and then I do a bunch of upgrades all at once, simply because of the way that I'm constantly progressing. I'm kind of in a hoard phase, and then I'm in a spend phase and a hoard. And so you need to have this patience that it's always going to come around, and that things are going to take time. That, you're someone who's spending money is going to get something faster than you, right? You've got to accept that. But you yourself have to be patient and understand the ways that you can alleviate some of that time. And I've done a lot of efficiency videos, but I thought these kind of key little things are important for you guys to understand. That if you want to be successful as a free-to-play, you've got to be patient. Because if you just think that you're going to rush through this game, you're going to be in for a rude awakening and probably end up spending money to get through it faster. Alright guys, and obviously we have our king here. I had to throw him in, and it's find a fun outlet. So for myself, finding the fun outlet for a long time was finding ways that I could use Wampa in really any game mode. Territory battles, territory wars, Grand Arena before his Omicron, and now like that he has his Omicron and Grand Arena, I have a lot of fun with him. You just have to find that outlet that's fun for you in this game. For me, I think GAC is still a lot of fun. I enjoy the challenge there of facing some of the harder opponents. So maybe that isn't GAC for you. Maybe that's territory battles, territory wars, conquest, whatever it is. Find that outlet that you have fun and go after it. Stick with it. I promise you guys, you are going to be so much better off if you just follow that fun outlet and find it, rather than just, slog through something that you're not enjoying. If you're in a guild that's very territory battle focused and you're more territory war focused, go ask to join a guild that's territory war focused. Go find a guild that suits you. And because at the end of the day, this game is supposed to be fun. So, as a free-to-play, that's even more important, I would say, because a lot of times you're disheartened. You're like, oh, there's so many things I need to do. Find the thing that's fun for you and stick with it, guys. All right, as a free-to-play, you need to be resourceful, right? And like Scavenger Ray, where she's going in, she's finding those parts, you yourself need to be resourceful. You've got to figure out where are those little areas that you can bump up rewards by investing as little as possible, right? Doing more with less. It's one of the big reasons when I did my faction rankings why some of those characters were so much higher on the list than others, is because they may be needed for multiple farms, or they're going to open up multiple doors for you. Characters like your bounty hunters, right? You're getting credit heist there. You're unlocking Chewbacca, the Millennium Falcon, Executor. They're pilots for the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren ship, the Finalizer. Like, that's just one example there, but you're really resourceful if you work on the right bounty hunters in that situation. Other examples like Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, even Jedi Knight Luke, Han Solo, C-3PO, who are needed for a lot of different things. Those are characters that are really worth that investment. That you've got to be resourceful. You've got to figure out how you can squeeze as much out of, your roster with the limited gear you're going to be able to put on. That it's one of the reasons I don't recommend farming Rey early. It's one of the perfect reasons. Like, nothing really leads you into her farm. And that's kind of why I recommend some of these other things, is because they all tie together really, really nicely. So you've got to be resourceful and find those ways to do more with less in your account if you want to be successful in this game. All right, sacrifice. So there's a bunch of different things I could say here for sacrifice, but I think the best way to describe sacrifice here is that you're going to want to sacrifice some of those things that maybe at times I would want, my Commander Luke Skywalker to be Relic 7. But if I want to get the newest Galactic Legend, or I want to be able to go and earn Reva Shards, I need to put those relics elsewhere. And so sometimes that sacrifice comes in the form that you're not going to be able to relic your favorite characters if you want to continue to move your account along you're going to want to move along with progress and not just kind of stay stuck with these nice relic levels, but not a lot of fluff anywhere else. A great example here would be, would you rather have one fully Relic 7 squad or two fully Relic 3 squads? And, you could say that those resources don't really equate to each other, but they kind of do, because Relic 7 is super, super expensive. So, again, I'm just trying to make the point that, you've got to sacrifice in some areas. That, if you're going to be a free-to-play, you can't have everything. You're going to need to sacrifice. You're going to need to figure out what those areas are. That a lot of my Galactic Legend Recs, as you guys know, are not beyond Relic 7 or whatever relic they're required at. That you can't always invest in those luxury characters. All right, don't give in, right? Don't be like Lord Vader. Don't give in. This is could go a couple of ways. Well, I would say, obviously, if you spend money, I don't care if you spend money, but I know everybody wants free-to-play advice. So don't give in. Don't get stuck on that one thing and think, God, I got to rip this credit card right now. I'm just going to go do it. Don't give in. You will find that mistake you made will propel you the next time forward. That maybe you made a mistake with Galactic Legend farming and you didn't do your tickets the right way, or you didn't farm enough mods. You're going to learn. Just don't give in. If you give in that one time, it's only easier and easier to spend money on this game. Again, that's the whole concept of games like this, is that first purchase. It's just like a casino, right? If they can get you playing, they're going to try and keep you playing because they know they're going to get your money. It's the same concept with this game. They know if you spend once, you're more likely to spend again. So don't give in. If you want to be a successful free play, don't think that one-time purchase is going to, it's only one time. It's going to get easier and easier every single time after that. It's what I hear from so many guys. It's just easier and easier after that first one. And then practice. Like Ahsoka did, where she practiced, her deflection skills against all those clone troopers that Anakin was teaching her throughout the Clone Wars, and how it finally came to fruition in the season finale of the Clone Wars. And it's so great that they tied that in. It's one of my favorite parts of the Clone Wars, and maybe that's a whole series in itself of my favorite Star Wars moments. But you gotta practice. And practice means not just in, okay, I've got to use this character, but practice your farming. You've got to master every little bit of this game to squeeze as much out of it. Figure out what time you reset, have your resets at, right? That my reset is so that way when I wake up in the morning, my energy isn't full, that I'm able to hit my store refreshes at times that make sense for me. I think that, with that practice, that's kind of like, that you've got to practice, you've got to get yourself in this habit of, okay, these are when I do these things, this is when I do this. And if you do that, you're going to get a lot more out of the game because you won't have to log on 15 times a day to do different things. That you can log on 3-4 times for maybe 20 minutes at a time, not even, and get everything done you need to in this game, as long as you have that practice and to know exactly when those things happen. So guys, that's my advice. It's not this groundbreaking, I think sometimes everybody thinks that free-to-play advice needs to be farm this node, farm that node. I do that all the time, but I think that's a lot more efficiency. I think these bullet points in here are all things that you can do to improve your account that will make you a better player, because you're going to learn a lot more from, finding that outlet, finding a fun outlet, right? How does that make you successful? Because you're going to enjoy the game and you're going to play it more, right? Like, okay, yeah, patience, but doesn't that apply to everybody? Yes, but if you're not spending money, you're not getting those quick boosts when you want them, so you've got to learn that patience. And honestly, it gets easier over time. Like for me, I don't even, as I get closer to something, I can wait and I'll start doing the math of, okay, if I do this extra crystal refresh, what is that going to set me back? And then the acceptance piece, guys, I think this is the most important. It's why I put it first. Accept what you are. That if you're not going to be spending money in this game, accept where you're going to end up being. That there are certain players that I just won't be able to compete against, and that's okay, right? I can live with that and I can move on. I can accept that. Are there certain things I can't accept? Absolutely, right? There are certain players that I do not want to lose to, that I can't accept that, regardless of if they spend or not. If their account is similar to mine, I want to beat them. So that's it, guys. That's the video. I love all of you. May the force be with you. And we're going to leave it with Wampa, our king here. Guys, I'm out. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.